What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Halftime with Bizzy. You might notice something different for this episode. Today we have Danky XD joining us. Danky XD has been lucky enough to work with the one, the only FM Pone, and he's actually got his own graffiti coming out on cash when it re-releases. Within the scene, Danky works with companies like Skin Vault to help produce content for their social media platforms. And he also focuses on doing graffiti outside of the Counter-Strike scene. Really quickly before we get into today's video, I want to just throw up on screen a petition that I created. This is aimed to get the attention of Valve because I feel like they should be doing more than what they do communication-wise, and I know a lot of you do too, especially after Monday night's update. So if you'd like to sign the petition, it's absolutely free. It's in the description. So if you'd like to sign the petition, it's absolutely free. The only thing it costs is a couple seconds of time. And if this gets a ridiculous amount of signatures, I will fly to Washington to Valve headquarters and hand this to the dev team. A lot of people have been hating on it for some weird reason, but I know a lot of us are in the same boat where we feel a little bit neglected by Valve. And one more thing I'd like to add in as well very quickly is I did also make some posters that I'm selling on Etsy. So if you'd like to go over to the Halftime CS2 Etsy shop and purchase your posters today, the link is also in the description right beside the petition. Enjoy the Danky episode. Amazing dude. Really good listen. We'll catch you guys on the outro. Hello.
Yo.
Hey, what's going on,
Right.
man? How you doing?
Pretty alright. Just got off work, so yeah.
Right on.
Glad to finally kick off the weekend.
Yeah, nice, man. Nice. Enjoy it. All right. Well, let's get right into it. And the first question I wanted to ask you is, what was it that introduced you to Counter-Strike, and what version did you start playing?
Well, I'm basically a boomer, so we go way back for this one. The first time, like my very first interaction with Counter-Strike, that was about the year 2000, I think.
Oh,
So if you think
wow.
about it, that's already like 24 years ago. That's like more than some people's lifetime in the community.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
Uh,
25, so like that's like the beginning of Counter-Strike right there.
Yeah. So what happened was, my family, they moved from Russia to Belgium. I was around 6 years old back then. And to stay in touch with the rest of the family, we just often went to internet cafes. So my parents used to buy me some PC time to keep me occupied
Oh,
after
nice.
I've said hi to the fam, so they could just keep talking to the rest of the family while I was playing Unreal Tournament and Counter Strike 1.6. But when I actively started playing CS was around 2005, I think. I mean, I was on holiday with my parents, and then we passed a game shop, and I found the Counter Strike anthology in a bargain bin. So I immediately picked that shit up, and I couldn't wait to go back home to start playing it. And that's also when I pushed my best friend into getting into Counter Strike as well. So we just spent the whole summer playing it, playing 1.6, Condition Zero, and all the mods. Yeah, like my best friend right now, he's on a break from CS, but we've still kept playing it through all the years.
Right on. And Counter-Strike's been super cool for that, like keeping friendships and, having something in common where you're, both interested and you're both playing it all the time and, you just do it for years. Like Counter-Strike is that kind of game. I don't know why, but it's awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
So I was gonna ask you next. Counter Strike's meant something different for everybody in regards to it being something that takes them kind of away from things that they're dealing with, or just something to play to kill some time after school or after work. Like, what is Counter Strike to you?
Well, that's a tough one, I think. I'm pretty sure that the definition of what Counter-Strike means to me has evolved multiple times throughout my life. It started out as something that I could play just to kill some time and have fun. Then evolved into a medium to stay in touch with friends while everyone just moved to different cities to study.
Okay.
Um, and then I think in the most recent years, it kind of all came together and evolved in something just too big to explain. It started out as a hobby and kind of evolved into a lifestyle. And right now, I think Counter Strike is a way for me to take a break from the daily life, to have fun with some friends, keep in touch with them. Also, like with the community figures, because everyone's living in a different part of the world. But it also became like yeah, like a side hustle when it comes to trading skins,
For sure.
creating content. Um, but even more recently, it also yeah it came in handy to be like a creative outlet where I can merge my other big passion, being graffiti. So I can just combine it two, and that's just something amazing. So if I had to briefly summarize it all, what Counter-Strike means to me, I think the best way to put it would be to call like a passion, or just rooted into every part of my life almost.
Yeah, and it's one of those things too, like it sounds weird to people that don't really know like much about it, but it's so much more than just a game, you know? Like there's so many different avenues and so many different like I don't know how to explain it, but if you know, you know what I mean?
I mean, I think the game is perfect for everyone, even like when it comes to uh I mean, you can create whole livelihoods with trading, content creation,
Mhm.
talent, playing it. Um, it's a fun pastime for people to just play or get good at it. I mean, it can eat you up because like the skill ceiling is so high, it will take you years to get to a good point, and even then, you'll often think you're shit. I mean, I think Counter Strike has something to offer to everyone, like creative people, people who are looking to have a good time. Like go to a major or another LAN event, you'll be amazed at the
Oh my
kind of
god.
people will come across.
Like I don't know if you went to I know you said you went to Antwerp. I don't know if you went to the Copenhagen major. That was my first event ever for Counter-Strike.
Oh,
What
really?
Yeah, and I've been playing for 9 years, so it was like obviously anticipated by everybody, but like I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be crazy, and that was like the most insane feeling watching the finals. Like, oh my god, like I can't even put it into words, dude. Like it's just something you got to see. Like cameras don't do the
Yeah.
justice, videos don't do the justice. It's just one of those things you have to be there.
Yeah, definitely. If you like feel the energy of the crowd, of all the people around you, you're just sitting together with like I don't know, 30K people, more give or take,
Hmm.
that all share the same passion.
And like you can easily strike up a conversation with someone sitting beside you and like you guys just click right off the bat cuz you know everyone's there for the same thing and everyone has the same kind of passion for it because if you didn't care about the pro scene you wouldn't be there. So everyone kind of can, just talk to people about whatever, really.
Yeah, exactly. And even like it's also easy to bring up people from outside the scene to CS, um, like to a major, and they will also think it's amazing. I mean, I can't speak for everyone, but the Suckle major was my first one, and when it got announced, I was just sure I was going to go, but that was during COVID time, so there were still like lockdowns going on and all that shit.
Oh yeah.
Um, and I told my wife, look, I have to go there, I have to be there, and she immediately said like, do you really think you can go on a trip without me? We haven't been on a holiday in ages because of COVID, and now you think you just if you think you're going alone, just forget about it. So I was so terrified. I was to bring her with me to the major. I was thinking, imagine if she would just sit there complaining, like, when is it over?
Oh my
Just
god,
hating the
dude.
whole experience.
That would suck.
But yeah, but that was something I was actually terrified for. So during the day, we would just go on a city trip, just explore the city, and then we would head out to the venue. But the first time I was so terrified, but after a while, she got a better understanding of the game because of the casters, and they're explaining everything that happens on the screen play by play. She had a way better understanding of what was actually happening. And she got so hyped, and I mean, she was even cheering louder than me at some point. So
Oh
that it
wow.
was so cool to see.
That's super cool, man. And like especially if you get the girl on board, like dude, it's going to be a good night. Like you don't have to worry about
Yeah,
getting nagged
definitely.
like, "Oh my god. Like how many more hours are we going to be here for?" Like I'm sure it's like this for every major, but like the finals for Copenhagen, like we were there for like I think the show match started, and by the time the finals finished and the ceremony wrapped up, like Navi lifting up the trophy and everything, I think that was like an 8-hour day. So if you have someone
Yeah.
nagging in your ears for that long, that could suck. So that was cool that she was on board with that.
Yeah, that was really like one of my biggest fears. I thought, I don't know what I'm getting her into. I don't know what I'm getting myself into. But I was just so happy that everything just clicked together and we had a great time.
So, at what point did you decide to take your passion for Counter Strike to the next level and begin making skins and graffitis in the game's workshop?
Um, well, I can't remember exactly when it all started, but at some point I was just fed up with seeing wag graffiti on skins and maps. I don't want to throw shade on other creators, but I mean the stuff you see in Counter Strike, it's I mean if it's graffiti, like 90% of the times it's just whack. Like I've been writing graffiti for almost 20 years now,
Oh, right
so
on.
when I see bad letters or bad styles, it's just a sore to my eyes, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
Um,
Especially when you're
like
passionate about it and someone else is maybe just doing it to, like, oh, maybe this will get accepted and I'll get a paycheck, you know? Like, you're doing it for the
yeah,
right
yeah,
reasons. They're doing it to get some money.
yeah, exactly. And if you got all that experience, you can easily tell um, that most of the graffiti you see in game and on skins, it's done by someone that has never done any graffiti in their life, and they just have no clue how to create a unique style, how all the letters should flow together. They just don't get the principles of style writing, you know.
Yeah.
Um, and I love leaving a mark of my style in real life, like with pieces, tags, and whatever. And that's something I also wanted to do with Counter Strike, and just bring some good pieces to the game that have actually been created by an actual graffiti writer. You know, so my first contribution, I think it was the winged karambit graffiti on Iris. Oliver, the creator of the map, he had his map featured in the map pool, and he came up with such a dope idea. He tweeted out that he was going to do a contest where players could submit their sickest place on the map, and the
Okay.
best play would get rewarded with a graffiti. So I thought that was so cool to involve the whole community.
Yeah. Really
Um,
unique idea,
and
too.
yeah, and I think it's also great to keep players like active in the map. So it's just, I mean, I've never see anyone do that before. So I thought that was an amazing idea.
Yeah.
So I saw his tweet and I just got slid into his DMs and I said like, hey, I would like to design a graffiti, and he was down to work together. So in return, he also put a few of my own tags on the map. So I really appreciated that. But before all that, I've also tried following some tutorials on YouTube on how to create skins. I've done it countless times, but I never succeeded. It was just too complex for me to understand. Um, some stuff went wrong, and I just gave up every time.
Oh,
Um, yeah, I still want to learn it, but I mean, I think I have my strengths, and some people have their strengths. So I just decided to reach out to well-known skin creators and hit them up to see if they would want to collab on a skin or a spray. Um, so yeah, this has led me to collaborating with very talented people like Moonfighter and NextGens. But to this day, none of our workshop items have been featured in game yet. I think one time Moonfighter, we submitted the first versions of the AK, and he DM'd me. He told me like, "Hey, our skin got added to a hidden collection," and I was completely new to the whole thing. So I was like, "So yeah, what does it mean?" So he told me like either some Valve dev is actually scouting for new skins to feature in the collection, or maybe just someone else just casually added it to their own list. And even later, what's the most recent graffiti AK, the holo one, the headshot, that was it.
oh, the headshot, yes, with the graffiti on it.
Yeah, so a bit later, the new case came out. What was it, the Revolution case, I think, and that AK came out, and that was like a kick in the nuts because I started to think like maybe Moonfighter was right. Maybe we did get on a short list to maybe get featured in a new case. Um, but because it was already graffiti themed AK, I was thinking like, yeah, what are the chances that they'll add another one in the future? But that's just something I've been trying myself crazy over. Uh, but yeah, I'm still committed to cook up some new designs and just go all out with it.
Yeah, for sure. And don't get discouraged
Motivate.
by
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Don't get discouraged or lose motivation towards not getting a graffiti skin in. Because when you think about it, there's been a lot of repeat skins that we've gotten before by the same creator, or like the Akihabara Accept, and then that one was anime. Then we have the Tumaku M4, that's anime. Pretty sure there's a couple more too. And when you look at stickers, there's a lot of the same kind of pattern too. So, I mean, it very well could happen in the future.
Yeah, I mean, with the whole process, you never know what's gonna get accepted. You just gotta throw shit at the wall and hope it sticks. You know.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So recently, it was revealed on Twitter that your talent was recognized by the one and only FM Pone, and he chose you and your art to be featured on the re-release of one of Counter Strike's most anticipated maps, Cash. How did you get in touch with Pone, and how the hell did you get your graffiti to be put on Cash when it comes out?
Yeah. So this is really like a dream come true for me to have a piece I've made to be featured on my favorite map of all time, a
Yeah.
map that the whole community is just desperately waiting on its return. But I don't think like he actually picked me. I've been interacting with this post for a long time on Twitter, and I think he started to recognize me as an ambassador for the map. Um, so I remember Fmpone, he had a poll on Twitter to help him pick out the name for his first Counter Strike 2 map, and I just jokingly replied Cash 3. Um,
Classic.
yeah, I think he was looking for a new name for Thera. I was like, okay, Thera is super cool, but I want to see Cash. So yeah, I was just poking with a stick, like, come on, man, when's Cash happening? Um, but he didn't confirm his reply that Cash would make a comeback, and his reply kind of went viral in the community.
Oh wow.
Um,
So you kind
yeah,
of fished that out of him in a way.
by accident, yeah, I guess.
That's amazing, dude.
So under that reply, I also asked him if I could help him out with some custom graffiti, and yeah, he surprisingly said he'll save me some spots. But I didn't know at the time if I could, if he was serious or not. Maybe he was just saying something, and like some people they just promise you stuff and say, "Hey, I'm down to collab," and then the whole conversation just never happens, and
Yeah, like they're just
you
trying to be
just kind of forget
nice.
about it. Yeah, yeah, but yeah, I thought I have to figure this out, and I just slid into his DMs, and he was actually down to make it happen. So, um, he told me that he would like to update the no hope piece in a main
Okay.
that we've had before on a previous version, and yeah, that's where our collaboration started.
That's so cool, man. What a feather in the cap.
Thanks, man.
So what was it like working with FM Pone? Do you feel any pressure working with him because he's like just such a legend in the scene, or was this kind of just something that you were just kind of maintaining well with yourself?
Oh man, I felt a lot of pressure. But honestly, it wasn't coming from FM Pone because he was so cool. It was very nice to work with. But I like to put myself under a lot of pressure
Hmm.
because I want to have like every new piece that I put out, it has to be better than the last one.
Okay.
And yeah, and for this one in particular, I really wanted to push myself to the next level because I thought if this one gets features, it's gonna be seen by a lot of people. So like if I do a graffiti piece IRL, like 5 minutes after I'm done with it, I'm finding details like I'm not happy with this. I should have done this or change that shape or add some bubbles over there, arrow here. I'm like super critical when it comes to looking at my own work. So I wanted something to create something that was actually timeless and like how would you say like my magnum opus or something like this is gonna be the highlight of everything I've ever created.
Yeah, for sure.
Um,
On one of the
but yeah,
sickest maps in Counter Strike, like that's like it goes hand in hand. That's just such an incredible achievement.
yeah, exactly. So working with FM Bowen, was really a pleasure. He always gave me honest and constructive feedback. And he also came up with some good suggestions to improve the end result. We did have a few discussions about the pieces. Our views were just a bit different, but we always were able to smoothly talk it out. there were never like heated discussions, or none of us was stubborn or anything. But yeah, our vision was like a bit different when it came to the readability of the piece. Because my personal style of lettering is pretty complex, and I think it's yeah, it would be pretty hard or even impossible to read for most people.
Okay.
Um, and FM Pony was concerned with the readability and the impact on the visibility in game.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, of course, he's a super seasoned and a talented mapper, and he knows that visibility is an important matter for Valve. He knows what the devs are looking at, or what you need to take into account. So he knows the tricks of the trade, and how to arrange all the things on a map to ensure the best end result. I think I've created like 3 versions of the piece before reaching a result where we're both happy with. Um, but is this the best piece I've done so far? Not quite, but I'm just beyond excited to see it in game. And I'm incredibly honored to have worked with the legend himself.
Yeah, that's like, not a lot of people can say that. And I've been playing with FM Pone a little bit recently, and like he's just such a chill guy, like in a voice channel, just talking with him and just playing on his maps, and it's like he's just such a down to earth guy. Like that must be so cool to actually get to work with him. It's one thing to queue up and play with him, or like he invites you to come and play with his squad, but to work one on one with him on a huge project, like that's not a small order. That's a big deal. Like that's huge.
Yeah, definitely. I'm already pretty jelly that you've been playing with them. I was
Yeah,
thinking you're gonna put out a video with him, like the date, a date with FMPO or something. I'm
yeah,
really
yeah.
looking forward to that one.
Yeah, there's just a couple clips in there. I think I got a few more stashed away somewhere, but yeah, I don't know what the hell I ever did to be getting invites from the guy who made Cash and Thera, but I'm happy with it. And he likes playing with me, I guess. I don't know if he doesn't invite me, then I'm assuming he doesn't like me, but whenever he's on, I'm usually getting an invite, so it's a pleasure for
Yeah, I
sure.
think he's definitely a very cool guy. So yeah, I mean, it's been a pleasure and an honor working with him.
So tell me a bit about your journey in content creating. You were into streaming on Twitch and making YouTube videos for a little bit, but it looks like you kind of slowed down. Are you planning on getting back into that field at some point, or are you taking a step away from it?
Yeah, so it's been ages since I've actually turned on the stream or find the go live button. I think been more. It's definitely been more than a year by now. I think we're already pushing towards 2. I had a good time streaming and just chatting with the community, but after a while, I became quite insecure about the whole thing, because I think I don't have like a vibrant or super energetic personality, and I don't think like the people are also we're also waiting for to see some mid gameplay. I think having an interesting and a captivating personality is just so crucial when it comes to streaming, because even if the content or the gameplay is shit, the personality just can come in clutch and just elevate the whole watching experience. For example, I love watching. I'm blanking out on his name, but Matthew Madison, I believe his name is. Like the cook, you can also see him acting on The Bear.
Okay,
He's like a chef. He has his own YouTube channel. I love watching his videos. I never watch it for the recipes, but I purely watch it for his personality, because he's just funny as shit when he's cooking. So that's kind of what I tried to illustrate. Like the content or the format doesn't really matter that much, as long as you have like an amazing personality or something that's worth watching.
for sure.
Um, and besides that, I've really underestimated how much energy it all costs just to look alive, to keep the interaction going, and to bring something interesting to the viewer. And with with a very busy lifestyle, um, it's just been a pain in the ass to get a consistent streaming schedule. Like every time I turned the stream off, I was just so exhausted. I was just running on fumes, because I'm just like pretty chill, pretty mellow. And I think if you look at me, you would even doubt if I'm having a good time or not. So I was always trying to force myself to be like more expressive, not to get like the fake YouTube PogChamp moments or anything, but just to look a bit more alive.
Yeah, for sure.
Um, eventually I would love to pick it up again, but I think I'll have to reinvent myself and the format a bit, so that I could find balance between what I enjoy doing, what's interesting and fun and enjoyable to the viewer. Originally, I was planning to do like IRL graffiti streams.
Ooh, that would be cool.
Yeah, it's still in the works. Like, I moved places. I have a backyard. We had like, how do you say, like a garden house or something,
Oh,
but
greenhouse.
it
Yeah,
was,
yeah.
yeah, but it was like rotting away. I tore it all down, and behind it all, it was a very decent wall. So that's something I just keep using now, to paint on, whenever I have some inspiration and time. So I think getting a setup and a stream working would be fairly easy, but I don't know. I'm just always so terrified to start something new, or
Yeah.
just putting crazy amounts of work in it and then just quitting after two streams or something because it's just too exhausting.
Yeah, I hear what you mean. I kind of when I started streaming, I was kind of the same way. Like, I was kind of camera shy and like, you know, I don't know. I was like when I started streaming, it was like 10 years ago. I was like, I don't know, maybe like 15, 16, and I was like if you look back on it now and you look at me then and look at me now, like I was a baby pretty much. Like I was like just a kid and I didn't really know what I was doing. The only people that would watch was like a couple of friends and it's so much more than just hit the streaming button and just stream. Like you look at a guy like Franz J, for instance, he's a super good dude. And,
Yeah.
he doesn't really interact with his chat. And he always has like a steady 300 people. Like they love him. And, he's a great guy. But he's one of those guys that kind of defies the odds and breaks down that wall of like, he doesn't really ever show much emotion and doesn't even really acknowledge chat. But he's still so fun to watch because of his gameplay. So it's like you could kind of if you think about it, make a plan and kind of like reinvent yourself, I guess, if you want to consider it that. Um, like it's possible. Like anybody can do it. If you even look at like IRL live streamers, there's a few people, they're just fucking boring people. Some of them are just controversial and just kind of assholes, really. But they're doing crazy stuff, and it's like, oh my god, like I want to see him go and do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
there's definitely it's definitely a competitive field and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, if you're doing it and having fun, I mean, I think that's definitely the most important part.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I just gotta find out what's working for me, what's works best for the viewer.
Yeah.
Um, like one streamer. Oh yeah, I remember what I want to say. Um, like I have like huge quality standards for myself. It's gotta be perfect, or else I just won't do it at all. So like the preparation phase, it takes ages, and even then, if I could be like 90% done, and I could still just pull the plug on it because I'm just not happy with the result,
Mm-hmm.
or just thinking like, yeah, no one's waiting for this, no one's gonna want to watch it. Um, like one streamer, I think it's also quite a good example of it is Aussie Jacko. His streams were so amazing. I really hope he comes back to streaming, but he put so much effort into like his whole setup. He had a green screen. He had crazy video effects where people could just redeem some points to throw a tomato at him, or he had
Oh
like
wow.
memes cooked into the whole stream. And when you were watching his stream, I swear it was almost like watching a fully edited video.
Just
Like he
really good
has
production.
yeah, he was so like that was absurd. That's some shit I've never seen before, and I really hope he makes a comeback because he had such a great personality to watch at. He had some funny gameplay, and just the whole meme theme of his stream was just I would say almost avant-garde, you know.
So you were recently at IEM Cologne and you did a bunch of interviews with people asking funny questions. What inspired this kind of idea? Because it turned out pretty great and it was pretty damn funny. Is this something you typically do at a CS event?
Well, firstly, thank you for the compliments. Um, but it kind of started when Skimvold, they asked me if I was down to film some content for them at the Copenhagen Major. They knew that I got some friends in the scene and in the community. So we sat together, cooked up some content ideas. Um, and then they just released me into the public and said like, "Hey, do your thing and let's see what works." Um, so I really love doing these bits and filming all the content pieces. Um, and I always try to involve people from the community because I also consider most of them as friends, and it gave me just more freedom to sneak in some funny questions or just to poke fun at each other at the same time. Um, and yeah, I after that I am Cologne was the next event I was going to attend. Uh, but at the time I was doubting whether or not I wanted to like pick up the whole video content creation thing because I didn't want to end up spending like $500 on equipment. I would end up using only once, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but then came Prime Day, and yeah, all the equipment was heavily discounted. And I thought if I ever wanted to give it a shot, it had to be now. So I just went and ordered all the gear,
Hell
started
yeah,
to cook
man.
up some content ideas. Um, and yeah, I wanted to work with friends and peeps from the community. So um, yeah, I just wanted to put the spotlight on them because I think we have a lot of amazing personalities, a lot of fun people as well.
Oh
And I
yeah.
thought, yeah, I thought let's do something funny. So I like to sneak in some funny questions every now and then. But I also got like a few more serious interviews coming up where I dive into the profile um, of the community member. Maybe they're heavily into streaming or like collecting the Colex cards. Maybe into trading and just something similar as you with the questions, but yeah, into a video content kind of way, like short form content.
Like something that'd be
Um,
good for like YouTube Shorts or like TikTok or something kind of like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Like a nice quick watch or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Because I mean, everyone has the like TikTok fried everyone's brain up. So,
Yeah.
and like editing the videos, even the short ones, I've learned how much time it consumes. It takes up a lot of effort, filming all the bits as well. Well, like you want to do all the content, but you also don't want to miss the game. So it's always like a race against
Yeah.
the clock and all that shit. Um, but yeah, I mean, it still is fairly new to me, but it's definitely something I want to keep doing. I hope to make so I am Katowice, and it's definitely a goal to attend the Austin major
Oh my god, I
next
was gonna
year.
ask you about that, dude. You gotta pull up. You gotta pull up. I gotta
Yeah.
get you a Danky halftime custom hoodie or something.
Oh hell yeah, I'd be so down for that.
If you go,
Um,
you let me know, and I will have some goodies for you. I'm getting some packages set up for a couple other friends that I've met through the
oh,
podcast and I've been
awesome,
playing
man.
with. So I'd love to give you something too as a thank you for the time.
Oh man, appreciate it, man. That's already like a reason more to go.
There you go. Custom 101 hoodie. There you go. On the house.
Yeah, so and to everyone else, if you see me at an event, just come say hi and let's cook up a video together.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, no, but awesome major, I really want to make it happen.
It's gonna be
I want to,
crazy.
yeah, I think it's been ages since NA had a major. I think like if I see IEM Dallas and all of that, I think the crowd is so hyped, and I like the NA scene has to get revived. It has to get another kickstart. Um,
Like we
because
haven't had a
we
major here since I think it was 2018 when Cloud9 won.
yeah, the
And
Boston one, I think, yeah.
yeah, I think so. And since then, I mean, like we had the Atlanta major before that, but as of the last major we had here in NA was I'm pretty sure it was Boston 2018. Everything
Yeah,
else is EU.
I think like before COVID, uh, Valve they had like a system where um, once a year there's an NA major, once a year there's uh, a Europe major, and I think that was like a good balance. But now they've been mainly focused on Europe, with the exception of Rio.
Yeah, but like to be
And
fair, I kind of don't blame them because like coming from NA when I went to go to the major in Copenhagen, like this scene out there is it's so incredible how different it is like in the sense of like how everybody knows about it. I got to the airport and I went through after I got my bags and they had to check my passport and the lady was asking me what I was there for, and I was like, oh, some gaming event. She's like, oh, Counter Strike. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, you know about it? She's like, yeah, it's huge here. She's like, some of my kids go and see it and stuff, and there's billboards, and there was not skin bid, sorry, I always get them confused. Bit skins, the people who did the Lamborghini Prince stream,
Oh yeah, yeah,
they
yeah.
had ads on the TVs in the airport. Like, it's so massive in Europe, it's insane. So it
Yeah,
makes
but I think
sense.
like it's like Denmark are in a league of their own. Like the first time I went there, I think was last fall finals a year or two ago, and like it's not a major, it's not a huge big event. It's always a pleasure to like cool to watch on Twitch or whatever,
Hmm.
but like to actually be there, it was already even sold out, and I saw so many just people go there as a family, like with their kids,
Yeah.
their partners, and everything. It's like a family trip to them, and I was just so amazed. Like if you see majors, like just the most diehard people go there, but over there is just yeah, it's a family happening. So it was so cool to see, and I think like culturally they're just already so much more advanced when it comes to Counter Strike. You know, it's already like cooked in with the kids. They're already starting early to get trained to become the next Astralis prodigies or
Yeah.
whatever.
You got your Monasies, you got your Donks. These guys aren't even 20 years old yet and just crushing the scene.
Exactly.
It's really amazing, and I know we already talked about it, but just the energy in the arena when you're like, I can only relate to the Royal Arena from when Copenhagen happened, but like the production's insane. The flames and the big TV screens showing the
Oh yeah.
logos and stuff, and you know it's just so beautiful. Like it was so crazy, and to know that after 10 years of playing pretty much Counter Strike, to finally go to one of these was like, I feel like if you're a longtime Counter Strike player and you haven't gone to an event, if it's a major or if it's IEM Dallas or IEM Cologne or whatever, like it is something you must do if you're like a huge Counter Strike nerd. It is an unforgettable experience.
Yeah, definitely. And even if you're like hesitating going alone or not, just jump to the deep. You will definitely you will easily make friends out there.
Oh yeah.
uh like even with the whole tour community, we have like a group chat going on, and with each event people get added to it. I think it started with the Stockholm major. I think by now we're counting at like 90 members, and the group chat is still going. So it's just so active, and it's just it became for a hub for us where we can easily like meet up and ask people like, hey, I'm in the city, or I'm going to the arena. Who want to join, or does anyone want to tag along? Who else want to go for drinks after, and all of that? So it's easy to get uh, like to befriend people and to meet new people and just have a good time.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you have any more goals in place that you're looking to achieve in the future, whether it be with content creation or getting workshop submissions or anything else? Like, do you have any other goals, or are you kind of just, do you work by like day by day?
Um, I mean, I still have a pretty long list of things I want to achieve. Um, like when it comes to skins, I really want to cook up some more graffiti team skins and just to get better at it. I think there's still a lot of room for improvement, so I really want to push myself to get better at it, um, and to eventually get something featured in a game one day. Um, Further, I would really love to see the graffiti piece I've made for Cash to be featured in the final version of the map, and to see the map get reintroduced in the competitive map pool. Like I've seen his eyes right now, but I think I mean it still has to get improved by Valve and all of that. So I really hope they just think, oh yeah, the piece is cool. It can stay there. There are no adjustments needed, or you don't need to change anything up. I just hope to live to the day to see it actually appear. Um, and I just hope I could do this thing more often, where I can create some custom assets for maps. Um, Besides that, I also want to keep creating content with the people from our community at events, and I want to also further explore how I could take things to the next level. Maybe do some longer videos, or find a way to do things online, because LAN events they're happening all the time, but like traveling is so expensive. So I still want to find like a way to do things online or remote. See what could be like a cool way to create some content. Um, there's also another project that has been on hold for a while, and that's actually decorating the big clan's office with some graffiti.
Okay.
Um, yeah, we've been in contact since the Antwerp major. We're still trying to make it happen. So yeah, I'm still keeping my fingers crossed that we'll be able to do it in the future.
That'd be huge, man.
Um,
Best of luck for you on that.
yeah, thank you. And finally, I think I would like to get like professionally into CS. Like making my job out of it. Because I have my 9 to 5 and everything. But I mean, I'm running on fumes, and there's just nothing I'm more passionate about than CS. So I'd like to pursue a career in that at some point. And I think that pretty much sums it up for, I mean, at least the Counter Strike side. And besides that, I still have a lot of shit I want to achieve with graffiti, with music and all that stuff. But for now, that's the thing I want to focus on, or these are the things I want to focus on.
Hey, well, it sounds like it's bringing you, the most success right now. So to channel all your energy into that is a good idea for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
So for the last part of the podcast, I like to let the guests write out the episode by sharing anything at all that they would like, whether you want to shout people out or give words of advice or promote something that you have in the works. Just finish off the episode by telling people whatever it is that you'd like.
All right. So first of all, I want to thank you for having me here. I really appreciate it. What you're doing for the communities, I think it's just super cool.
Thank you. Thank you.
A huge thanks to everyone in the community and the day ones. Y'all made it an amazing ride. You're keeping the community alive, and every event unforgettable. Special shout out to FM Pone, Moonfighter, Next Gens, and James Banks. Those guys have always been an inspiration to me. They've always been super cool, and I really appreciate all the collabs we have done in the past and are still about to do. Thank you to the listener. Thank you for your time, and yeah, just be on the lookout for more community content and some dope skins that are coming out in the future. You can always hit me up on Twitter as Danky_XD. Um, so yeah, thank thank you to Cheese Craft.
Thank you everybody for checking out today's episode. It was really, really awesome getting to sit down and talk with Danky. I found in my feed his original post of when FM Pone posted the screenshots with the graffiti that he worked on in the map, and immediately my friends were like, you gotta hit this guy up and you gotta get him on the show. And I wanted to too, because I was into graffiti. I took a graffiti class in high school maybe 6 or 7 times, so that's like another passion of mine that I don't really do anymore. But I mean, that's a super incredible opportunity for Danky, and to have him on the episode and kind of talk more about himself as well as talk about his collaboration with FM Pone was really interesting. Hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. I'm still working on getting the show on DSPs, so please bear with me. I don't know why it's so troubling, but it is, and I'm working on it, so don't think that I am not. I haven't forgot about it. That will be all for today's episode though. Hope you guys have a great day. Until next time, everybody.